Pathways. A sidewalk can be a pathway if it leads to starting something like the Kids Mobility Network. A swimming pool can be a pathway, especially if it leads to a gold medal in the Special Olympics. Then again, so can a wooden lane if it leads to building confidence and doing things some people thought you couldn't do. There are so many pathways that lead to overcoming disabilities, and Developmental Pathways has been finding them for 50 years. We've come a long way since renting that first classroom in Littleton Public School, but it was a start. And for the first time, people with intellectual disabilities in Arapahoe, Douglas County, and the city of Aurora had an alternative to institutional care. Today, Developmental Pathways helps over 3,000 people lead lives filled with ability.
Developmental Pathways was established in 1964 as a community-based alternative to institutional care, which at that time was the only option available. Families wanted to keep their family members at home, and so banded together, did fundraising, and established a company and services where that could happen.
When Karen was born, all I could think of is, she'll never do this, she'll never be a part of this, etc. And until I stopped thinking about that and started to say, let's see what she can do, I didn't get into this situation of hope. And Developmental Pathways was the key to the whole thing, that she could be on her own, and I never dreamed that would happen.
His name was Bob Ryan. He's the one who got me started.
The way she was treated was so beautifully, with so much consideration for her needs. She adjusted quicker than I did. And I found that to be a wonderful organization to have Karen in the middle of.
When we didn't have any problems or anything, I come to him.
I'm Richard Newell. I have 46 merit badges. It takes a lot of time for you to get those merit badges. It's very hard. This is the Order of the Arrow, which is an elite club that I'm a part of, that is part of Boy Scouts.
Everyone who comes to Developmental Pathways gets a case manager who works so closely with the family, they almost become a member of the family themselves, ensuring that the client receives the appropriate services.
Amy helps me with resources. It's great to feel like you have a friend that you can call, talk to. If I have a question about paperwork with school or medical, I can call my caseworker and feel like I'm gonna really have an answer.
Developmental Pathways told us our situation. Yes, Karen could go into a group home. She was happy. That was the main thing. I asked her if she liked living in this atmosphere, and she said, yes. She said, I'm an adult now, you know. Independence means making decisions that she didn't do before. I chose her clothes for her. She does that.
Oh, they want me to learn to cook, cleaning, all that stuff, to be more independent.
This is the independence that she has a life of her own. Developmental Pathways.
The key is early intervention, and it can work wonders.
Today we're working with a 2-year-old little girl, Nicole. She has Down syndrome, And we started with cardboard blocks. The goal here was to see if Nicole would stack the blocks according to size. At first, thought she could sit down and stack each block, and then she realizes that she needs to stand to finish the tower. And the goal is to have her continue to do this and get more comfortable each time. Mom is very involved. We leave Mom suggestions of what to work on each time we visit, and Mom is incredible with spending time with Nicole on these goals.
In the beginning, children were only enrolled in the early intervention programs if they were obviously delayed.
Hoy todo cambió. Intervención Temprano ofrece evaluaciones a niños cuyos padres tienen preocupaciones sobre su desarrollo. También ofrecemos otros programas, like the Spanish Resource Fair.
Pathways, people at Karen have been involved in both in day programs and in her residential program, have really felt like family to her. Everybody she's ever worked with has a big heart and a lot of caring for the people they work with. And Karen really truly feels like beyond her immediate family here in Denver and the family in other parts of the country, that Pathways is part of that collective group of family members.
She's with people who care about her, who see to her needs, and she has changed since she's gone into this program. When she lived up in the mountains, she was introverted. She didn't make any friends herself. Then when she went into Developmental Pathways, she began to open up.
We're constantly reaching out to the community. In fact, our Community Outreach Department is the newest program at Pathways. It was designed to help people who were on the waiting list for our services, and there are a lot of them. More than 3,000 waiting for everything from therapy to transportation, jobs, living skills, or just the basic tools to become part of the community. Even something simple like an iPad.
Hello, my name is Amy Rusak. I am 27. I have cerebral palsy, and I am nonverbal. But I can talk. I can talk on this iPad that Pathways bought me. I love talking on my iPad because everybody has one, and I don't feel different. I use the Touch Chat app to talk, but I also do what everybody else does on their iPad, like texting, and emailing, and Facebooking. I have a job greeting people at my speech therapist's office. Sometimes it is hard, but I keep practicing. I speak at speech conferences. I like to speak at First Steps Camp to parents of little kids who are nonverbal. I am in a theater group called Magic Moments. I can say my lines or sing a song for an audition. People tell me that I give hope and inspiration to children who can't talk. Because now they really can. That's my story. Thank you for listening and supporting me. Your friend, I'm Amy.
When Amy Rusak found her voice, she found her calling.
In 1984, Developmental Pathways began a supported employment program, which was individualized jobs for people within the community at typically paying wages, which was unusual at that time because most of the employment that was available was in what was called a sheltered workshop. It was not integrated in the community.
They provided work for her, which she never would have had before.
You know, and I think money was a part of it because she felt a sense of value and a sense of worth. She was doing something, she was getting paid for what she was doing. She felt a sense of value, she interacted with people, and it gave her a sense of being needed in the community.
She loved it. She loved it. Another gift from Developmental Pathways.
At Commerce Center, clients learn traditional skills necessary for integrating employment in the community. Since 1970, Pathways' reputation for dependability has been based upon high-quality work and on-time completion. It wasn't always that way. John Moss recognized early on that the cost of institutionalizing a person with developmental disabilities was almost 30 times higher than helping that same person become a contributing member of the community. And we followed his lead. Developmental Pathways offers work programs, day programs, senior programs, educational programs, all pathways towards becoming a contributing member of the community.
She went to the day program. She said she really enjoyed it. The different activities they had were up to her abilities.
I like doing art in class. Makes me feel the Pathways family.
Our Seniors Choice Day program was the first of its kind in Colorado. Robbie Simmons has retired. Now he comes to the Seniors Choice Day program to socialize and be a part of the family.
I worked for Developmental Pathways for 29 years. I am very thankful that Developmental Pathways gave me a job. I nicely decided to retire, and I'm very lucky, fortunate, and very happy to be here at Pathways in the wonderful Senior Day program. It definitely has made a difference in my life.
Developmental Pathways. Helping people find their own pathway is what we do, and we've been doing it for 50 years.
I'd like to thank you for helping me. Everything that you did for me since I became an adult. I'm speechless. Anyhow, thank you. And I love you, both Pathways. And I wish you could continue helping me. And I love you, all of you out there, right now. Thank you.
We have experienced monumental growth within our area. Growth sometimes to 191%. With that, within the region, our numbers have grown drastically. And though we have evolved over our 50-year period, it's difficult to keep up with that growth. As we continue to grow and evolve even more, there are times that we just need to take a breath and stop and thank those people that are the most important to the growth and to the evolution of our organization. So, thank you so much to our clients and our families who help us learn every single day. Thank you to our employees who are the most dedicated individuals that you would ever want to meet. And if you're just joining us in our journey, please come along, be a part of what Developmental Pathways stands for and what we do every single day. Because if you think the last 50 years was important and meaningful, think what the next 50 years will be like. Because today is the beginning of the next 50 years, and you haven't seen anything yet.
There are still people who need our help. That's why we've established our Sun Foundation, serving unmet needs. Your contribution makes it possible for us to provide assistance to over 3,000 individuals waiting for resources and funding. For more information, please call 303-858-2004. Let's all find our pathway.